On this episode of Paint Society, I'm going to show and teach you how we deal with tough colors, how we get them to match better, how we get them to blend, so the final result looks like the car has never been touched. I want to welcome you all back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to be dealing with paint code NH885M, liquid carbon bronze metallic, a very difficult color to blend, one that's very hard to match. In fact, this color matches perfect on some of our models, but on this particular car, it looks completely different. So today what we're going to be doing is a lot of blending. So we have a brand new bumper replacement. We have a brand new fender here that's been cut in. And what I like to do is get this on the car so I can see how it's going to blend out into all the other panels. You can see it's only got one coat on. We're going to do our blend into the A-pillar. We have an approved blend on the door. We have an approved blend on the hood. And we have a free blend on the fender. Why not? You see, when you blend car paint, you can make the match look perfect by blending in the color into some parts of the actual fender itself. And that's just what we're going to be doing with this particular color. We're going to get a really good color match, but then we're going to take it a step further and blend it into all the adjacent panels. By blending it into the fender right here, we know that our bumper is going to match. Even though it's a small part of the bumper, all of our work is very high quality, and we got to let it go matching, and that's just what we're going to do here. Now, the first thing we had to do is make sure that we applied our sealer to our bumper cover. From there, we can then put our base on it. Since everything here is generally just scuffed, there's going to be no point for sealer because it's scuffed clear coat and a little bit of scuffed base coat. So we're just going to continue with our blend. We're going to see how far we have to go into the hood and see how far we have to go into the door. Now here's the formula here, NH885M. Now we bring up the formula. There's only one variant. This is actually my own variant that I thought matched well, but it just doesn't. But anyways, when you bring it up, we're going to go down here, and you guys can do this as well on your own. 70% reducer instead of 2-to-1. So instead of basically 50%, we're doing 70%. So adding 20% more reducer, that's going to help with the mix. That's going to make it a lot more thinner, more transparent, and really help out that blend. So that's something that we can do in the Stickins setup, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And here's the Magician, mixing up the toners. We're getting them all set up, and we're going to be using the 70%, and we're also going to be using extra slow. That's going to really help loosen up those metallics and let it flow on nice and smooth. So we're going to put this on the car and see what she looks like. We always like to take standard and mess with it once it's on the car if we need to add a little bit of black. Doing spray out cards, sometimes it's good. Right now, it's just sometimes best to see what the car looks like with the color on it, and then sometimes I just make a couple adjustments here, whether it's a little bit more black or whatever it might be. That turns out to be the best way for me. Not everyone likes to do it that way, but in my opinion, you could do 100 spray out cards. This just works better for me to see what the color actually looks like when it goes on the panel. So we're going to start by putting color on this whole fender, and we're going to stop it around this body line. We're going to see what she looks like, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if it needs any more adjustment in the color. Obviously, the bumper is going to be whatever color that we perfect on here. So we're not going to paint the bumper yet, right? We're not going to put color really on the bumper and complete it. We're going to make sure this looks good because on the bumper we have nothing to compare it to. But on here we know, hey, we're testing out the color. It matches well. Now let's take that color and put it here. So unless we adjust the color, then we'll put it on there. But right now we're going to hold off. Using a wall tone. Weird noise. All right, so what do we have here? We have a color that it will blend, right? It will not catch your eye because the color will blend, but we're not blending the right color. So this is not right. So we got to add something to it. And I'm going to add 140. That is the black toner that goes into it. When we're blending, we're going to start off with, I would say probably a gram, and then we'll go from there. We're going to see what it does, and then we can adjust it further from there. So let's go add some 140. All right, so we're going to zero it out here. So now we have 0. So when it gets to 1.0, that's going to be a gram. I'll zero it out again. Okay. This is 140. This is the black. I see it needs black, so we're going to put some black in. Honestly, I'm looking at the amount of black here for 18 ounces. I don't think that's going to do much, so I'm going to make the decision right here on the spot to go with the 2.0 and see what that does. All right. This toner is not necessarily strong, so you have to be familiar with your toners and what they can do and what they can't do. If we were adding yellow to a white, I would never have done 2.0. I would probably done just a couple drops. and then tested it out. But for this, let's see what it does, see if it makes any difference in the color. All right, so the one thing that we don't want to do is like use too much testing on the car. So if we keep on testing it out on a car, what's going to happen is you're going to have like really dry overspray here because you're putting so many coats on. So if you're here and you're like putting 15 coats on back and forth, that's not good. I already know our color is in the ballpark, and I know it just needs maybe one adjustment, which would be equivalent to 2 coats anyways. So right now I'm within the time frame of coating. I'm not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coats trying to get it to match. When you start to add too much, guys, over in this area, it's going to get really, really rough. The one thing you do want to do, though, after every coat, is just tack off that hood. I might end up going over the whole hood, I don't know, just to get the color to go look even, the whole front end. I'll see, I'll make that adjustment when I'm there, but let's take a look at this second coat here. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. I still feel like it's a pinch light. So we've got one more coat to get out of this before we stop and we give it a nice little scuff because we don't want to add too much paint here. But I'm going to add just a little bit more, let this dry, and then we'll see what it does. If it's good, then we'll put it on the other fender and we'll put it on the bumper as well. All right, so we're going to add just a little bit more. So again, small increments based off what you know about the colors and your toners. We're going to add 2.0 again. Let's just add a little bit more, 2.5. And honestly, this is one of those colors that unfortunately our paint system just doesn't have down pat. So all paint systems have their pluses and their minuses. This particular color is a new color, and this is a minus. They should have variants for this color. They don't. We're on Mixed It Cloud, which is a good thing because there's anything that is added to the system. And if you guys know more about this color, let me know in the comments. But it sucks. It matches the base models for the MDX, and it matches the base models for the RDX, but it does not match the TLX. It does not match the Integra and the A-Spec models. It doesn't even come close. And it's the same paint code. So weird, I don't know, but we've been trying to figure it out, and this is what we end up doing, just adding a little bit of black. All right, guys, this is the third coat. We're not going to mess with it anymore after this. It should be fine. We can already see as it dried, it did darken up a little bit here, but it's still just a touch light. That's why we're doing our blends everywhere. So let's go ahead and spray this down. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's good. Here's what I'm going to do on the hood, guys. The hood to me is modeled from factory. I don't like it. And I don't like the overspray that's just falling on the hood. It's going to take me one coat to cover the hood. And what that's going to do is, when we look at the car, aesthetically, it's all going to look the same. When we're over here, I'll finish off the color here so that the bumper matches and then stop it right around this area. I think that's going to work best for us. Let's do that. And that's it. We're going to let this dry. Obviously, when it goes on, it's going to look a little bit weird because it's got extra slow. Extra slow really makes the metallic look weird, but when it dries, it's gonna look perfectly smooth. So now that we got our good color, we can spray it onto our bumper. So we're not getting multiple coats of paint on it from trial and error and then going from there and running out of paint. So we're good to go at this point. We can use a ground coat if we have another color to get our base, and that's what we're gonna do because we only have a little bit left here. So I have a ground coat, we'll put that on first and then we'll finish it up with this. And here's the bumper. We put one full coat of the actual same color that we used on the vehicle here, and we used one coat of a standard mix for the same paint code. So you can see how you can use the correct color on top of a regular mix, and you'll have coverage, no problem. You can see how this flashed off really nice, really smooth. This is the way your base should look. See how it's got that satin look? You see how the extra slow helps it really flash off, really nice. So now I know that my color's good. I got a beautiful blend here. It's 75 degrees maybe. It's a cool night here in Florida. Just had some rain come through, really help us out with this blend. But one thing I want to talk to you guys about is I don't want to discredit anyone that uses spray out cards. If that works for you, and we still use spray out cards to give us a ballpark, if that works for you, then great. It's hard for me to use this little 4x5 card to determine if this is a perfect color. A lot of times you think you got the perfect color, and then when you go to put it on the car, it doesn't match. So I don't spend hours upon hours with something like this. I spend a little time getting a spray out card first, getting in the ballpark, then I put it on the car and I make my adjustments there. I don't spend 5 hours trying to get adjustments on this tiny card that really doesn't show me the color properly. I do what we did here by spraying it, by tinting it, and then seeing what it looks like on the car. So if you use these cards and you're having great matches, even better for you. This is the way I do it. There's more than one way to do it. There's more than one way to paint a car. And I think that we achieved something really good here by looking at the color visually and seeing what it needed to be done. Me personally, I'd rather start getting color on the car, seeing what it looks like and making those adjustments than spending time on this outside of the booth. Car's waiting to get in here. Let's at least get it on there, start getting some paint on. And look, we got out of this under about 15 minutes between those 3 coats, and I think we're ready to clear now. So let's go ahead and put down the clear. We're gonna see what she looks like when it's all cleared, and then we'll get it all pulled out. Check out the color. See, the front end looks like the back end. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Let's go ahead and hit that clear coat. All right, this is after 2 coats. Check it out. Now, this color, like I said, no color will be 100% perfect, but it's blended into here. So this looks like the same color. I can't even really tell where it's blended, but I know where it's blended because I did the blend, and you can look at the tape. But like I said, we took the color on the whole hood. So when I'm visually looking at the car from here, I'm like, okay, this is the same color, right? And now we know our bumper is going to match, not a problem. So I'm really happy with that. Doesn't look like we're going to have to do any buffing really on this one. I got one little dirt nib in here, and I think that will be it. One little guy right in here. Run the buffer over this guy, and I think that will be enough on this one. But if you guys are enjoying the channel, you want to support the channel, guys, you know that I have a collab with Colad. They make this awesome paint suit that you see me wearing all the time. It's got our catchphrase on the back. Don't overthink it, it's just paint. That means, guys, just paint. It doesn't matter what happens in the end. You can sand it down and redo it. It's not life-threatening if it doesn't work out. But super cool lab coat. This particular one that I have is size XL. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been really trying to take care of myself over the last 7 months. I toned down about 25 pounds. So XL is a comfortable fit if you're around 230-ish. But now it's becoming a little bit too big and it's kind of poking out here at the bottom, and that can kind of hit the car. That's why I had it tucked in while I was doing that clear coat. But they sell these in all different sizes. It's on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description. I always do anyways. And we got some merch coming out, so you're going to want to make sure you check out the Amazon page as well. These are a Paint Society high quality shirts, again from Colad. Great collab we've been doing. These guys are awesome to really bring that merch back to you guys. It's something that I'm not even selling, but they're doing it on my behalf just to get that name out there. So again, guys, if you join the channel and you want to rep me and rep Paint Society and be proud, this is one way to support the channel as well. We're going to let this dry, and then we'll come back in the morning. I'll unmask it. We'll take a look at it outside. Hopefully get it back together as well. But guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Let's check it out.